Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. So today I actually wanted to do a little video on basically explaining what a twin flame is or isn't, for the purpose of making it clear for those that might be mistaking their connection as a twin flame connection. Now, we use terms like narcissists, karmic, soulmates, and really for the purpose of this video, I'm not really doing a deep dive in those connections, but really the purpose here is to kind of help you to identify whether or not you truly are a twin flame. I really want to make it clear that in a twin flame connection, you will not experience any verbal, physical, or emotional abuse. If that is something you're experiencing in your connection, that is a clear sign that that is not a twin flame connection. A twin flame truly is your mirror, the other part to your soul, that really is, meant to come into wholeness and unity with you. And that is only possible once you go through your healing phases, resolve all your old trauma so that you can come into union. Now, a twin flame will never deliberately hurt you. In fact, they feel so many emotions for you. The only reason they really move apart from you and go into separation is so that they can work through that, unresolved karma and those unhealed wounds. So once, that is all done, you will come together naturally. But if there is any form of abuse, as I mentioned, that is not a twin flame. So you should really use that to kind of help you understand that that is not a twin flame connection. Three clear signs that can help you identify if you are in a twin flame connection or not, and this happens for every twin, so it's easy to identify, is really number one, that when you actually meet each other or are activated onto the journey, you experience a Kundalini activation. If you are not aware of what Kundalini activation is, that is something that I can share with you in a video that I've already created. I can share that at the end of this one so that you can kind of go into the depth of what that looks like. But when you actually come either, in person with your twin, or if you are energetically activated by your twin, and sometimes, twins come together just via an email exchange and they get activated onto the journey. So that is possible. It's rare, but it does happen. So if that is something, then you will really feel that energetic vibration through your body. And the experience kind of looks a little different, but the electrical shock that you really feel through your body is a key sign that you've experienced a Kundalini activation. Now, the individual that you're dealing with, if you did not experience that with them, that's a very clear sign that you are not a twin flame. Now, the second sign is that after this activation actually occurs, you begin to feel your twin flame's energy all around you. We call it a shared field of energy, and you begin to, experience them basically being around you all the time. And so if this is something that you're experiencing, then that is a twin flame connection. If you cannot feel that, then that is not a twin flame connection. And really this energy that you feel from them all the time, you can actually pick up on their thoughts, their emotions. And so all of that is really, really intertwined and connected. So if you are not experiencing that, that's another very clear sign if you are in a twin flame connection or not. Sign number 3, which can actually sometimes be a little bit harder to detect, is the Kundalini actually starting to move through your body, which will, basically trigger you into a dark night of the soul, a lot of emotional and physical pain in your body as this actually starts to work through. And if that is happening to you, then that's another sign. Now, Kundalini activations can happen to people that aren't twin flame. So that's something to kind of be careful of. You might just be experiencing Kundalini and not really be in a twin flame connection. So you're going to kind of have to really look at the sign number 1, sign number 2 in combination with sign number 3 in that case. But really the Kundalini will be something that as it's rising through your chakra system, it is really felt on a emotional, physical level, and that is something that can help you identify your connection as well. So these are 3 clear signs that cannot be really mistaken and should help you identify your connection. want to touch on, karmics, narcissists, and soulmates. Really, for me, I like to put all of these into one bucket. I know for the purpose of really clear distinction, we have a lot of information out there to really tell these three apart. But the reason why I like to bucket them together is because I take a look at the soul experiences that we really have based on some fundamental levels. And those include the karma that we actually have to go through in our life. So anybody that really comes into our life, whether it's a karmic, narcissist, or soulmate, it doesn't really matter. They're really only there for these fundamental things, which is you trying to resolve your karma, which is, you've sown certain seeds in past life and you are now reaping the good or bad karma based on those actions. You have new desires that are giving you your experiences. And third is basically your energy and your frequency, which is inviting certain experiences in. So it doesn't matter who you're dealing with. What you really want to take a look at, regardless of the labels, is each situation needs to be kind of looked at in terms of what it's really trying to teach you. Because, these are all going to, in some shape or form, really be responsible for your soul growth or helping you resolve karmic cycles. So you want to ask yourself, what is this connection teaching me? If you keep finding yourself in the same looping cycle over and over, then there is a lesson there that you are not learning, or you are really tied to that individual because your karma is still not cleared. Now, what I will say is, in order to really resolve your karmic cycles, you want to take a look at forgiveness, and that is going to really help you close off these karmic cycles for good. In my past videos that there are, according to Indian scriptures, a total of 8.4 million life forms. And humans, are really one of a kind in those 8.4 million life forms, where we are the only one that has the opportunity to create new karma, while all other life forms, including angels, only have the ability to reap what they have sown, either good or bad karma. So as a human being, when you have the ability to create new karma, you really want to take a look at how you can grow from the situations in front of you and really resolve the cycle so they do not keep repeating themselves. And that is going to be the key to your success. Now, the reason why I mentioned forgiveness is because sometimes we take a look at our connections really around us, have these engagements with people, decide to leave, but then they still linger on in our energy. And, really as an example, I can say, let's say you have an ex that you have actually been dealing with for 10 years. You finally decide to pick up and leave, which is amazing, great, because you've learned some lessons there and you know that you are no longer willing to have those same experiences and you are trying to shift in order to invite new experiences in. Now, that is great. However, if you continue to think about that ex in a negative sense, or you keep having conversations about that individual with others in a negative sense, well, guess what? You are holding on to that energy, creating unresolved emotions and thoughts, not healing from that situation. So that cycle is likely to come back either in this lifetime again or another one. So really, you want to forgive and release that situation. Try and find the silver lining in every experience so that you can hold on only to the positive, energy from those connections and really release that connection so that it does not come back as a looping cycle for you. Now, for example, let's say you had an ex where you actually had 2 children together. Now, instead of looking at that individual as having robbed you of things that, you worked so hard for, think of that, connection as giving you 2 beautiful children. And that is really what you want to hold on to and take the lesson from that situation and move on. Forgive the individual, whether or not they want the forgiveness or they want your forgiveness or not, doesn't matter. But really, you want to move on with positive engagements. Take the wisdom, not the pain, to move on. Just remember that every person that you come across, there are no coincidences. People are trying to help you either resolve your own karma or really helping you grow. You want to take each individual interaction on a positive note, and that's how you want to end it as well. So you can really cut off that cycle with them and keep it from repeating in your life again and again. And if it's not with the same individual, it might be with others. Take the positive experience and you want to keep on moving, really understand these interactions on a soul level, and really move forward in a positive light. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope this video was helpful in clarifying a twin flame connection versus others, regardless of the labels. And thank you. God bless.